Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we are diving into a code that's not meant for your eyes, but for your fingertips. It's called Braille, and its story is incredible, starting as a secret military tool and becoming a key to literacy for millions. And wait till you hear how it's being used today in things like escape rooms. So, let's get right into it.
So here's a fun one for you. What in the world connects a secret code used by soldiers on a battlefield to a puzzle you might find in your next escape room? The answer, believe it or not, is Braille. And how we get from point A to point B is a really fascinating story. So to really get why Braille is so brilliant, we actually have to go back in time, back to its ancestor. And this system, well, it wasn't designed for reading books, it was designed for war by a man named Charles Barbier.
Barbier called his invention nightwriting. And the goal was pretty simple: let soldiers pass messages to each other in total darkness without making a sound. The whole thing was based on a grid of 12 raised dots. But here's the catch, and this is a really key detail. The dots represented sounds, not actual letters. And that one little detail turned out to be a major problem.
Yeah, even though it was a clever idea, night writing was just clumsy. First off, because it was based on sounds, you couldn't really get proper spelling or grammar. The biggest issue, though? That 12-dot symbol was way too big to feel with one fingertip. You had to trace it, which made reading super slow. Plus, there was no way to write numbers or even a comma. It was a cool concept for sure, but totally impractical.
And this is where our story gets really interesting. This is where a teenager takes one look at this clumsy 12-dot system and comes up with an elegant solution that would change the world forever. Meet Louis Braille. He wasn't some military captain or a famous inventor. In 1824, he was just a 15-year-old kid at a school for blind youth in France. When Barbier's nightwriting was introduced at the school, Louis immediately saw the potential, but he also saw all those massive flaws, and so he decided he could do it better.
And here it is. This is the absolute game changer, the Braille cell. Instead of 12 dots, Louis used just 6, perfectly arranged in a little 2x3 rectangle. And why was this so revolutionary? Because it was small enough to fit perfectly under a single fingertip. That one change made reading by touch fast, intuitive, and efficient. It was a huge deal.
And here's where you can really see the genius at work. The system has this beautiful internal logic. It's not random. Take the first 10 letters of the alphabet, A through J. They're all formed using just the 4 dots at the top of the cell. Simple, right? Oh, and these same patterns? They also represent the numbers 1 through 0. And the system just keeps building on that same simple logic. You want to make the next 10 letters K through T? Easy. You just take the patterns for A through J and you add one more dot in the bottom left corner, dot 3. It's this predictable, elegant pattern that makes the whole system so easy to learn.
So let's do the math. From these 6 little dots, how many unique combinations can you actually make? The answer is 64. That's more than enough for every letter, all the numbers, every piece of punctuation you can think of, and even special symbols for things like music and math. It was basically one of the very first forms of binary code. Absolutely brilliant.
But Braille didn't just stop at being a simple alphabet replacement. Oh no. To make reading even faster and to make books less bulky, the system actually evolved. It became its own unique written language, with its own shorthand and everything.
This is where we get what are called grades of Braille. Think of grade 1 as the beginner level. It's a straight letter-for-letter translation. But then you have grade 2, which is what most people use. It's a more advanced system that uses all sorts of contractions and abbreviations to save a ton of space and seriously speed up reading.
And this incredible system didn't just stay in France. It went global. It's been adapted for more than 133 languages all around the world. Today, it's the bedrock of literacy, education, and employment for millions of people who are blind or have low vision. Now you might be thinking, with all the tech we have now, screen readers and audiobooks, is Braille still a thing? And the answer is a resounding yes. This quote from the World Blind Union really says it all. For real literacy, for understanding spelling, grammar, how sentences are built, there's just no substitute for reading. Braille is absolutely essential.
Okay, so we've seen the serious, life-changing side of Braille. But now, let's switch gears and talk about its surprisingly fun second life, as a secret weapon for puzzle makers and escape room designers.
I know, it sounds like a weird jump, doesn't it? A system designed for literacy suddenly showing up as a clue to unlock a box in an escape room. So, how on earth did that happen?
Well, it turns out Braille is like a perfect ingredient for a great puzzle. For one, it gives you a totally unique challenge. You have to use your sense of touch, not sight. It's also a fantastic way to learn something new through play. But at its heart, Braille is a code. It's a cipher, just waiting for someone to crack it.
So you might find a clue card in a game, but you can't read it with your eyes. You have to feel it. Or maybe you'll find a cipher that uses Braille to give you the combination for a lock. People even use little raised stickers on objects to hide messages right out in the open. It forces you to think and to feel in a completely different way to solve the puzzle.
It's just amazing when you think about it. From a secret military code to a tool of liberation to a key in a game. The journey of Braille is just this powerful reminder that a brilliant idea can live many lives, often in the most unexpected ways. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other old inventions are just hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone to give them a brand new purpose?